What up, freedom warriors? If you understand these 4 things, you're basically going to have a scientifically proven way to achieve what you want 10 times faster than you ever thought possible. Now that's a bold claim, but it's backed up by science. So this is not my claim, this is just truth. So pay close attention, and really at the end of the day, it's number 4 that if you can learn to do, you will be ahead of 99% of people, because people do not think about this. They don't know about it. It's very rare. And I'm not even that good at the first 3. The first 3 are very important. That's why I'm not a billionaire yet. But it's also why I've been able to create millions of dollars not working that hard. So I'm gonna break these 4 things down, and I'm gonna wrap it all up and bring it all together so you can understand how they all work together. So the first trait, or the first thing to understand actually, is there's a personality test called Texaco. And this personality test tests 26 different personality traits. And one of these traits is called conscientiousness. And conscientiousness is like the basically amount of heart or the amount of care you put into your work, right? You really care about the work. You put things in, and it breaks down to 4 subcategories. The first category is organization. Organization is, of course, organizing your life, making sure things are in order, making sure that you have things in place, making sure you got a schedule, basic level organization. The second is called perfectionism. This is why planes rarely crash, because pilots are always double checking before they take off, making sure that everything's on point so they don't crash. But how many people actually double check the person they're getting married to or the degree they get? And very few people do this, so they end up in a huge divorce rate, and there is a lot of people who end up in careers that they don't like. Gallup did a study, and it was like 87% of people said they didn't enjoy their work. They were unhappy, which is crazy. Then we have the next one, which is called diligence. Diligence is hard work. It's willpower, it's perseverance, it's hustle, it's all of that, which is, it's an important piece of the puzzle, but it's still only 25%. You got Gary Vee all the time saying, hustle, hustle, hustle. Yeah, but hard work is not everything. You can spend a lot of time working really hard digging ditches, and you're still not going to get very far in life. Some of the hardest workers in the world don't gain very much financial success because they're doing things that don't add a lot of value from them individually doing hard work. So they don't make very much money. Now, the 4th one is the most important, which is called prudence. Now, prudence is your ability to make the right decision. And this is why so few people have success, because they are making their decisions in life based off of what society thinks is the right decision to make. So they're going to college to get a degree. They're buying a house, which is a liability, not an asset, but they're told it's an asset, so everybody is buying a house. And where instead they're taking that money and investing it into assets and growing the money and having it work for them, or investing it into themselves. There's different things. And then, buying real estate that you rent out that becomes an asset, but not buying real estate just to sit on it, because now you're just pouring money down the drain every month. Now, prudence in and of itself is about making the right decisions. So that means if you want to make the right decision, you have to know what those right decisions are. And how would you know that? It's a really good question. How you're going to know what the right decision is to make is by knowing that you're kind of lost in reality. And you need mentors, and you need books, and you need to know the knowledge beforehand that's correct instead of just following the masses. Here's the problem. The problem is let's say that my goal was right there, right behind the tram. And let's say that I didn't know that my goal was right there, but I knew it was like 100 meters away from me. So I was told if I go north that I'm gonna reach my goal. So I pull out my compass that society has given me and I start heading north towards my goal. And I start to realize, wait a second, like, what's going on here? Like I was going towards my goal, but it doesn't seem to be the right direction. Like, what's happening? And then I keep trekking down this path that's not right because society wired my compass completely backwards. So I was actually going this way towards my goals. So instead of going 100 meters, now I have to go 24,000 miles around the world to get to the exact same goal. This is what making the wrong decisions does for people in life. And this is why most people get to 60 years old with $60,000 in their bank account after slaving away doing something they hated for their whole life. They still didn't even get the reward at the end of the tunnel. We ended up doing something that they didn't want to do because that's what they were told and that's what they followed, and they put themselves into debt. They did something they didn't want. They just lived a life that really did not resemble any sort of freedom. And this is what happens when you don't get the prudent side of things right. Your compass goes in the wrong direction. But what if instead you found mentors, you read the right books, and you wired your compass in the right direction so you could go directly towards your goals? I tell people all the time, like, read, get mentors. This is something so important. And people are always like, there's so many people who will say like, well, really? Should I really do that? And the answer is yes, of course you should freaking do that. Because think of it, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Cuban, Mark Zuckerberg. You could list off all the people. Tai Lopez, doesn't really matter. What do they all have in common? What do these all successful, rich people have in common? They all read lots of books. Elon Musk read every book in his library when he was young. They all read books so they can have foresight, so they can make the right decisions. Because if you have foresight and you make the right decisions, then you can be going in the right direction. Now, this is why I'm not that good. I'm not that much of a perfectionist. I'm not that organized. I'm not that much of a hard worker. But I was able to create millions of dollars. Why is that? The answer is because I don't have to be that great at those things if I'm going in the right direction. Because I can hire people smarter than me. I can learn what are the right decisions to make. I can study more and I can learn more from other people's mistakes and other people's trial and error. So even if I don't have everything else on point, since I'm doing the 1% of things that's gonna help me get 99% of the results, each thing I do has more impact. Whereas a lot of other people are doing 99% of things that get them 1% of results. I really hope you're grasping this concept. So prudence is so important. If you only have hard work, you're like the basketball player who wants to be in the NBA because they can shoot free throws. That's only one side of it. Or the basketball player who's really a hard worker but sucks at all the skills. So we have to think about this. We have to have all four of these things. I have all four of these things, but I have the smaller of the first three. But prudence is that one we have to focus on. What was prudence to me? Well, it was finding Brian Swan's Perfect Day video, writing out 7 pages of what I wanted my ideal life to look like. Now I know what that looks like. Then I asked myself, what is the knowledge and who do I have to become in order to reach that goal as fast as possible? So I started to read books and hire mentors and figure it out. The unfortunate part was the first 4 or 5 years, I did it all almost through mostly trial and error, but also reading books. But what I would have done if I were to go back in time knowing what I now know is I would have got mentors who were already there, who guided me like the Sherpa up the mountain. They just guided me step by step so I didn't make all the mistakes myself. But guys, this is the scientific proven way to be successful. Align those 4 things and you can do it, but focus on prudence and then focus on selling that vision and hiring the right people around you. Then you can literally work the 4-hour work week if you want and make great money not working that much. Or you could just build multiple businesses and do multiple amazing things, because why not? If you have passion and purpose and you want to do something of impact in the world, why not build more and more and build more wealth and have more contribution to other people? I think it's selfish not to build wealth personally, because I'm the type of person who wants to give as much as possible. So the more wealth I have and the more time that I have, the more I can give of myself and my gifts to the world, and the more I can contribute to other causes. So guys, Those are the 4 things. Follow these things. Focus on prudence. Tell yourself, no, I'm lost. I don't really know where I'm going. Go to the bookstore and find the headlines that come out at you. Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Way of the Superior Man. They'll pop out at you. Read those books, follow these methods, and you'll get to where you want to go 10 times faster than people who are just learning through trial and error. Even if they're organized, a perfectionist, and hard worker, if they don't have prudence, they're not going to know the right direction. Their compass is going to be wired backwards. So guys, if you like this video, comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and click this video. It will be something else that will be very valuable to you. We'll talk soon. Peace.